Okay, so we've all been there, right? You're reading Romans, you get to chapter 16, and you see this long list of names, and maybe your eyes just glaze over. It kind of looks like, I don't know, ancient admin, like Paul's just wrapping things up.
Exactly. It feels like the credits rolling at the end of a movie. But what we're digging into today, based on the source notes, is that this list, Romans 15.1-16, it's actually, well, it's Paul laying out a blueprint.
A blueprint. For what exactly?
The real gospel community. That's kind of our mission here, to see how Paul uses these greetings, these specific names, to build a foundation of love, honor, and genuine encouragement. It looks dry, but it's packed with meaning.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So the hook is, this isn't boring filler, it's a radical guide. Where do we start? Maybe verse 16, greet one another with a holy kiss. That jumps out.
Yeah, it does. And it wasn't just, polite manners like saying hello. In that culture, a kiss like this, especially termed holy, was a really profound sign.
Profound.
It signaled deep respect, almost like family affection. And importantly, it was a public act. It visibly showed acceptance and honor within the group. Paul's essentially saying, build a culture where people feel welcomed, feel valued right from the start.
Okay. And he doesn't just give the command, he models it by naming people. He calls out specific contributions. Like Phoebe.
Right, Phoebe. The notes point out she's called a servant, a diakonos of the church, but also a patron, a prostatus. That's significant.
What does patron imply there, more than just helping out?
Oh, absolutely. It means she was likely a woman of some means and influence, actively supporting and probably advocating for Paul and others, using her resources, her standing.
So he's highlighting practical, maybe even financial support. And then there's Prisca and Aquila.
Yeah, this couple, Paul says they risk their necks for him. We don't know the specifics, but it sounds serious. And they hosted a church in their house. Think about the commitment, the potential danger even.
That's a huge level of personal sacrifice. He also mentions Andronicus and Junia.
Calls them fellow prisoners. Suggests they shared persecution with him and well known to the apostles, or maybe even among the apostles, depending on how you read it. Some sources really lean into Junia possibly being a female apostle.
Interesting. But what really strikes me, looking at the notes, is how he honors just sheer hard work, Mary and Persis.
Yes. He specifically says they worked hard. That's it. No grand title, maybe.
Yeah.
But he sees their labor, their effort, and he calls it out publicly.
So Paul is deliberately elevating maybe the overlooked service, the quiet, consistent effort that doesn't always get noticed, that feels, pretty radical for that time.
It really was. He's setting a standard.
But hang on, if Paul is this major figure, the sources mention him planting churches all over. Acts even records him raising Eutychus from the dead. You'd think he wouldn't need to focus so much on honoring everyday workers. Why this emphasis?
That's such a crucial point. Paul's life was this constant paradox, wasn't it? Incredible miracles, founding communities, supernatural stuff happening.
Right. You'd expect universal respect, maybe.
But that's not what he got. Alongside the miracles, he faced, intense opposition. Beatings, imprisonment, shipwrecks. And crucially, as the notes remind us, a lot of criticism, slander, even betrayal, sometimes from within the churches he poured his life into.
Wow. So the guy experiencing these spiritual highs was also dealing with some really low lows, relationally, even within the faith community.
Precisely. He knew firsthand how brutal and demoralizing ministry and just life as a believer could be. So he's telling the Romans, look, this work is hard, life is hard. You need to intentionally build each other up, welcome people warmly, honor their work.
So it wasn't just nice sentiment, it was strategy for survival, almost.
I think so, yeah. Gospel work, any demanding work really, thrives on genuine love and mutual honor. It needs that culture to counter the inevitable negativity, the competition, the indifference that can creep in.
Okay, that lands differently. So let's bring this home. How does this ancient holy kiss, this culture of honor, translate today? We're swimming in social media comparison, performance reviews.
Right. It's a different world, but the human need is the same. The big takeaway from these sources seems to be, the community of faith, should be the safest, most affirming place for people to belong and to serve. Full stop.
Safest place. Okay, so how do we do that beyond just being generally nice?
Well, think about Phoebe, the patron. Today, that might look like using your own influence or platform, not just money, but your voice, to actively advocate for someone whose work is maybe unseen, give specific public affirmation.
Moving beyond passive appreciation to active advocacy. And Prisca and Aquila risking their necks, sharing their home.
That challenges us, doesn't it? Are we just friendly acquaintances, or are we willing to actually share risk? Offer tangible support, our time, expertise, maybe even our physical space, like they did. It's about genuinely investing in others, especially those doing difficult or thankless work.
So it's about intentionally building this culture of honor, seeking out who needs that specific encouragement this week.
Exactly. Making the community a true safeguard for people's spirits,
Yeah. So looking back, Paul's list isn't just names. It's a roadmap for resilience, grounding this tough mission in real active love and honor.
It really is. And maybe here's a final thought to chew on. Paul himself went through so much junk, so much opposition, yet he still took the time, the energy to name and honor every single one of these coworkers. What deep, maybe fundamental human need for recognition and belonging does that kind of intentional honoring greeting actually meet? Especially in our world today, which can feel pretty isolating sometimes.
That's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.